wrestling.com, face to face here at the Apter Chat. My guest today, welcome, first time ever on One Wrestling, welcome Hillbilly Jim.
Listen, it's my pleasure to be here, brother. You know, we've been friends for a lot of years, more than we probably care to talk about, but it's good to see you. Glad to be on your show. My honor.
Well, it's great to see you. And tell everybody where our satellite Skype hookup is. I'm in Philadelphia, and where are you?
I am in a great little city in south central Kentucky called Bowling Green, Kentucky. I'm at my friend Kenny Lee, who's a great musician's house at the Meadowwood Recording Complex here. And I'm over here visiting with you today, and he's got it all set up. And I'm not too savvy with technology, but you are.
Great. You're doing great. You do. Now, I noticed there's a keyboard behind you. Is Kenny around there?
Kenny's right here. Yeah.
Hey, Kenny, you want to give us a second of some keyboard there before we get to what we're talking about?
Well, I've got the speakers hooked up for you, Bill.
All right. Well, we'll get them on another occasion there, because
Okay.
I know Kenny. Tell us about the jazz thing that Kenny does every Monday night, Hillbilly.
Kenny Lee is an amazing, consummate musician. I've been a friend of mine for a lot of years, and he was kind enough for a lot of years to let me come out and play guitar in his band and sing songs. We used to do some blues shows, and Kenny is the headline act, and he's the main chief and bottle cook and water washer, if you want to, of the Kentucky Blues Society. And that's something that goes on all the time. You can go to KentuckyBlues.com and find out all of our stuff that we got that's going on here. But Kenny is a jazz man like you are.
Yeah. I love jazz and country music. Those are my two favorites.
And he's doing a nice show down at a nice little restaurant called the Mellow Mushroom, and he does it every Monday evening. He's got a nice band with him, and Kenny plays the keys and does all the wonderful song stylings of everybody from Thelonious Monk to just about anybody you can imagine.
Does he do some Toby Keith?
That's on a different show at a different place, but yeah. When we go to the Waba's, that's when we do our country set. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I like that. So before we get into what one of the reasons I brought you in here, tell everybody what you're doing these days.
Well, for about the last 8 or going on 9 years, I've had an international radio show on Sirius XM Radio, Outlaw Country Channel 60. It's called Hillbilly Jim's Moonshine Matinee. And I have a 4-hour show, as I say, and I have special guests on from time to time. And I get on there and I play music that you and I would remember. Plus, I bring out some new stuff, because most anything that was Southern rock before is now considered outlaw country. So I do a lot of that from that genre. And I've really enjoyed myself. And, brother, you know how it is in this industry. I've learned something every week. I've been doing that, and I can't believe I bat my eyes. It's been over 8 years I've been doing that. So that's my main week-to-week gig. I still do stuff from time to time for the WWE if they call for me to. And odd things. The main thing I want to do every day is feel good. You and I have talked about this. I try to work out every day and exercise and just enjoy life as it comes to me, man. That's what I'm really all about.
Well, we were talking about country, and just a few weeks ago I met and did an interview with Darius Rucker, who's a huge wrestling fan, and we were talking about the old days, and he mentioned the Hillbillies, etc.
Wow.
And of course you and Uncle Elmer, and the person that I want to talk to you about today, Cousin Luke. As you know, we lost him just a few days ago. So what I'd like to do is turn back the clock and get some of your memories of Cousin Luke, like when he first came into the WWE.
Well, you know, during that time in the WWF, as it was called, I had began in like the late to the mid 80s, and things were going just wonderful for me. And then I sustained a real bad injury on February 25th, 1985 at the San Diego Sports Arena.
I remember that.
It was a bad knee injury. And during my rehab time, we were looking for, and the WWF at that time were looking for someone that I could come in where I could maybe go to the ring, still have visibility, and maybe manage. So I began with a big old cat named Uncle Elmer. You remember I'm bringing him in.
Of course, Stan Frazier.
Brought big Stan in, the plowboy from Memphis.
I actually bought one of his $10 Rolex watches from him one time. He used to sell them in the dressing room.
All the boys had those. It was quite a scene, and I don't have to tell you about him. Of course, many of the fans know all about the plowboy.
What a wonderful guy he was.
And then we brought in, then he had a few issues. Then we brought in my buddy Lanny Kane as Cousin Junior, who was an amazing worker and one of the guys that I really trained with when I began in the South here in Kentucky. And so I got a chance to bring him up. He worked out fine. And then eventually we brought in Cousin Luke. Gene Pettit, who I tell you, let me say this about him. Just an amazing guy, one of the sweetest people you'd ever want to meet in your life. I knew his mother, his sister, his family, the most gracious, wonderful folks up around Union, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And I tell you, for many years, it saddened me when I go out to the shows and sign autographs and whatnot. I would see Gene show up because Luke, and he'd be in the wheelchair because he was suffering. And, it hurt me so bad to see him going down like that because he never lost that love for the business. And he never lost that love for the crowds and for the wrestling fans. And
well, although he was Gene Petit, in an article I wrote, his soul was Cousin Luke.
He loved that. He really enjoyed that whole thing, and I feel like some kind of way I was able to have a real influence on his life, if you will, from the Hillbilly Jim character thing. And I got to tell you, he was always wonderful to me. We would talk on the phone a lot, and it just hurt me so bad the last several years of seeing you coming down with his illness and watching this thing progress to the final end. But I got to say to all the wrestling fans out there was never a more genuine guy than Gene Lewis, Cousin Luke. And we're really going to miss him. And as I said before you today, it's kind of strange to feel like I'm the last standing survivor of the Hillbillies, of the one in our genre, in our era. I'm sad about that, but I've got wonderful memories, and I hope all the fans do.
Yeah, but you're keeping the Hillbilly train alive and going. I asked Drew Anderson, who first told me about Cousin Luke passing away, that if he could write a book about the life of Cousin Luke in the business, what he would have titled it. And I'd like to ask you the same question. If you put it all together for the time you knew Cousin Luke and everything he did, what would you title that book about his life in the business?
I think I would have to do a little bit of a hillbilly kind of a twist to it, and I think I would call it he liked that dance thing we would do every time
I remember.
When they play the hillbilly music and we do the dance. I would think I would call it something like mountain dancing.
Oh, I love it.
Because he loved that old hillbilly thing, and he enjoyed that when we do the do-si-do in there, and we get the kids out there, and that seemed to be something that was kind of
well, like he told me in an interview years ago, it was a down-home party everywhere you guys appeared.
And and I got to tell you, and I'll tell all the fans too, that was no real put on, because we truly enjoyed ourselves about every day. We would get out there like a lot of the boys would in the business, and it'd be a lot of extended days we would do, and that was tough. But when it come to the show at nighttime, that was the best part of our day.
Yeah. Now, tell us, thank you for your memories of him, and tell us, if people want to find you, where do they go these days to contact and stay in touch with Hillbilly Jim?
Well, you can contact me at hillbillygym.com. I have a website there, and then as well you can contact me at KentuckyBlues.com. That's our website here, and my friend Kenny handles all this stuff, and I'm easy to get in touch with. And you can also check me out on my Sirius XM Outlaw Country Radio show. I'm always there, and I still get a lot of mail from friends and from fans across the country. It's quite complimentary, for people to still remember me in the way they do this many years. It's quite an honor. We must have been doing something right.
You did, because everybody only has good memories. Wonderful memories of the days of the Hillbilly Clan, and you can count me as one of those. Hey, before we go, you got a part of a tune you'd like to do for us?
Well, I'd like to, if you don't mind, I'm going to do a tune that there's some talk of me going on the Grand Ole Opry doing it, because the lady that wrote this song for me is now a member of the Grand Ole Opry. Her name is Marshall Chapman, and
I know who she is. Our dear friend Bert Prentice.
Yes.
Bert Prentice has mentioned her to me many times.
Well, she has talked to me, and she's been and done my show before, and she's talking about having me come out one evening and on a special show for her, and maybe do this song that her and Doc Palmas wrote for me, which is "Don't Go Messing with a Country Boy, Boy. Don't go messing with a country boy. Don't mess with a country boy." And she put that together. She told me the story about that, and I said, "Marshall, you don't realize just how identifiable that tune was. As soon as that fiddle would strike that first chord, people would jump to their feet all over the world." And you know what? It was amazing that they captured it, because we needed something at that time, because you remember entrance songs were so important at that time. And
Yes,
that's the thing that brought everybody to their feet. And she and I have become friends over the years, and we
that's
laugh and
great.
talk about that. And she even talks about that Marshall does now so fondly. Like that's one of the biggest things she remembers doing. And I said, well, listen, you helped my life out a bit, and I'm so glad it brought us together.
That's
That's what.
great. There's nothing like being live at the Grand Ole Opry. There's nothing like being live at wrestling and sports entertainment, and nothing like talking with you, my dear old friend here, Hillbilly Jim. Thank you so much for sharing your memories of Cousin Luke.
And I want to tell you, I appreciate you. You have been a wonderful man, a stand-up
Thank
guy
you.
to me. You've always been very positive, and everything everybody's ever said about you has been bared out to be true. You're a wonderful guy, and you've
Thank
been a
you.
credit to this business. And by the way, you're a great musician, and people need to get a chance. They need to come out and check some of your shows out because
Hey,
I
now,
know
by
you're
the way,
entertaining.
you don't know this, but when we get off here, I want you to go to YouTube and I want you to put in Bill Apter raps Moon River. You'll see my rap video.
Okay,
It'll shock you. I
all
can
right.
take any
We
song
will.
back from the 60s and I can
I
rap
can't
it.
wait to see.
All
That'll be
right.
great.
All right. Hillbilly Jim, Bill Apter. We'll see you at the matches. And don't
It's
forget, it's
great.
hillbillyjim.com.